Okay, now we're back. Okay, that was my boo-boo. What I accidentally did is I said it was made for kids. And whenever you do anything made for kids, it literally will block the chat. So you can't chat. So that was my mistake. So I had to go and redo this, to go and delete it and start all over again. So I'm really sorry, guys, that I'm making you guys do this all over again. But it's so stupid how it makes you click on this dot. And I thought I clicked on the dot properly, but I guess I didn't. My throat is very irritated, and I am apologizing in advance. Come on, this stupid computer, man, is so slow. Just need to fix something. I have to put my tags in here, and if I don't, and I don't get to do that, sorry, I don't get to do that in OBS, so I have to go do it right now so my video doesn't get flagged because I don't have tags in it. All right. I have to put my tags in here, and if I don't, I've got like 15 windows open here. Oh my gosh. Okay. Jeez, come on. My computer's so slow. I really need a new computer. All right. Let's add this to the group so people can see I'm live, because people apparently are not getting my my notifications. Jeff said he didn't get it either. So let me go delete the other one. And then I think we're good to go. It says it's just for kids. I know. I did that by boo-boos. It was an accident. Hi, BJ. Hi, Lynn. Hi, Debbie. Yes, I'm back now. Geez. Anyway, since my last live stream, here, let me zoom out so you could see my table, all this stuff I have on it. Oops. I have to put something so I can at least show. That's as much as I can zoom. Okay, so this is just how I starch my fabrics. I use hangers and clothespins, and I starch my fabric. Like you can see, it's pretty stiff. In the bathroom, I starch it on my ironing board that's covered with an old piece of fabric. But I needed to get this fabric starched because this is for the next quilt along that I didn't finish. And it was big pieces. So I thought, oh, I'll spray all of these before I go to work. And when I get home from work, they'll be dried. And sure enough, they are dried. But I also need some stuff starched for this quilt so I can finish it. So this is just the background for the upcoming quilt. This is the binding for the upcoming quilt along that I didn't finish. This pink stuff here is the binding. So I needed to get it starched. The only thing I don't starch is the back. I can't be bothered to take 8 yards of fabric and starch it. No thanks. I'll pass. So these two pieces of fabric, I have to kind of fold these because if you wrinkle this up with when them being really starched like this, they're a bitch to iron. So let me just set this aside because these are what I need for the next project, and I'll just iron them when I get to that stage. Now these ones, I need to finish this quilt. These are the binding. And I thought I would starch all of them because I might even need some of these pieces for my backing, because I may not have enough backing. And I might have to piece my backing, which I don't care. It looks really pretty if you do it right. I've done it many times. But I cut these into pieces. Whoops. Where is it? I cut these into pieces so I can cut 2.5-inch strips from them and have a little bit of each of the colors for my binding. Because this came in the fat quarter kit. So they're just a strip of fabric with 2 pieces of color. But these I have to get ironed and get cut, because I am almost very close to finishing this quilt. I just have the black border to put on. I did the 5-inch squares during the week, or in the mornings. I did a little bit. Like this morning, I finished up the border, and now I just need to put the black border on, and this will be the binding. This is really pretty fabric. And there is the black that I needed. This is the black that's going to go as the binding for this quilt I'm working on. So I'm just going to sit these off to the side. And I'm just going to get rid of some clothespins here. Knock that one off. And then I'm going to go hang these up in my closet here, because this is what I use for starching my fabrics. And it works wonderful. You just starch them and hang them on your shower rod in your bathroom. I can't even see chat. In your bathroom. So, yeah. They could drip in the tub. Because when I do it, I saturate them. I promise you. So I'm just going to get these hangers back up. And I got to reach over shit to get there. All right. Oh, of course. Don't give me a hard time, please. All right, good enough. Okay, so this is the hunk of fabric I needed. I need to cut 2-inch strips because I'm only putting... What the heck did I do? Oh, no. Well, I don't know if it matters or not. But somehow I cut the wrong piece. I cut this wrong. Oh well, such is life. It's just a border. It's black. Who's gonna even see it? But I'm cutting against the grain of the fabric. What the F? How did I do this? Does this matter? I guess not. Oh well. The reason I wanted to starch this is because this is the outside border. If you don't starch it somewhat, this fraying will become unbelievable. So I just don't want to have that frayed edges, because right now I'll show you it's fraying on the parts that I did on here already. So I've already finished all of this border on here. So I've got the 5-inch border. and it's fraying like crazy. If I leave the black like this, it's going to be frayed so bad before I get a chance to get it quilted. So let's just not do that, because I did not starch these pieces. So this is not starched. But I'll tell you what, this border made this a lot bigger, and it just looks really beautiful. It just, but I do need that little bit of black on the outside. So then I will work on measurements, get the backing ready for it, all that good stuff, and we're good. And this is done. So I do need this iron, because I got to iron those pieces, and this iron doesn't iron it very good after it's been starched. I can tell you that. Let's just get this ironed and over with. Need that. And we need this. Oh, why is this camera not cooperating with me? Like, this looks way too damn close. I don't know how to fix this now. It does look way too close. Nope, that doesn't make any difference. Not at all. Oh, shit. I can't. Why? Shit. No. That's as high up as it'll go. I can't fix that. It'll have to do. Oh, shoot. That's right. I unplugged it. I unplugged it to plug in my fan. There we go. And there's still lots of water in there. Okay, well, now it's over too far. Can we make up our mind? That's good enough. Oh, jeez. Oh, what am I doing? This OBS is pissing me off. All right. I just got to wait a bit, because this iron takes a bit of time to... I'm just going to give this a nice little iron. And what's really nice is once you iron this, it stiffens right up even more. So I think I'm going to cut 2, 4, 6. I'll cut 7 strips, which I think 7 might be enough. I'm going to run potty quick. I should have went before I started, but I didn't. And then I want to get these ironed, because I'm going to cut my... Oh, I can't cut my binding yet. I got to measure the quilt. Once I put this on, I'll measure it. Then I'll know how many strips I need. Oh, good, it's ready. Well, I'm going to kind of put a crease in my in my fabric, but I don't care about that right now. That way it's getting nicely ironed. Ooh, that's very stiff. And that's what I like. Okay. So that's ready to be cut. Let's get these pressed up real quick. So these have a little red dot on them. And that's where I'm going to press them. I know I'll be needing these for my backing, because I know damn well I don't have enough backing. And I don't know which quilt tag I want to use. My daughter bought a very expensive embroidery machine. She just got it on Sunday, so I can go and get anything I want embroidered. And she just lives behind me, which is not far away. And she's embroidered so much already since Sunday. Her and her daughter are having a blast with it. I think she paid around $2,000 for the embroidery machine. And I'd love to get some embroidered labels for my quilts. I went on Amazon yesterday and I ordered the batting that's going to go between all these quilts that I've already got finished, because I only had 4 packages of batting, and that is nowhere near enough. Some of them are 90 by 108, and the ones I ordered are 72 by 90, which are twin size, lap size quilts, which most of mine are. There's just a few of them that are bigger, that will not fit on my quilt machine, so, or my quilt frame. So unfortunately, I have to take those in and get them professionally quilted. And I know my farmer's wife quilt, hi Lynn Young, is definitely not going to fit on my quilt frame. Ooh, that's pretty crooked, but it's the fabric. Oopsies. This iron's so beautiful, and I don't have no fuss, no muss with that iron. None. Zippo. Okay. These little panels are so pretty. Just absolutely love them. But again, I love Lori Holt everything. Sure do. Big fan of Lori Holt. Alright. Now this will be ready for me to just cut once I get the backing done. Well, I'll get this cut up once I know how big my quilt is going to be, because I added all those extra inches with borders. That made it a little bit bigger. Okay, we are good. That's all I wanted to get ironed. Going to turn this off. Get this ready for cutting. Move this out of the way. I have a brand new mat coming, because this mat here is upside down because I warped it really bad and gouged it on this side over here, so it's upside down. Oh, me too. I'm watching her. That's what I'm doing is taking all this leftover flat fabric and I'm going to cut those 1.5 inch squares and I'm going to sew them. But I really want to starch that fabric. I don't care if it's scraps. I still want to starch them because those are going to fray like crazy because they're not going to get sewn together very for a very long time and made into anything. I think she's calling it her, oh, what did she call that when she's sewing that? Shit, I don't even remember. It's a special, an extra quilt. I don't know. Who knows? I don't remember. Okay, so I need to look at the dust. Or is that dust? No. What is that? I don't even know. All right. Let's grab this. Let's grab this. Let's square this up. Actually, the best way to square this up is put it on a line on your mat, of course. Like so. So it's straight there. Now we'll square it up. Okay. Now we have a nice straight edge. Perfect. Now I can cut my 2-inch pieces. That's all I need. I need about 7 of these. There's 1. There's 2. So this is just a border, which will be a 1.5-inch border when it's done. It'll actually be 1.25-inch border. Oh, starching definitely helps with fraying, Sandra. Absolutely does. It really, really does. That is the only reason I starched this, is because this is the outer border, which is the last thing that's going onto my quilt. And the moving and jostling around of your quilt will cause it to fray around the edges. So, I mean, it's not going to prevent it from completely fraying, but it'll fray a lot less. There's 5. Yes, I find fraying and working with diagonals, those kinds of things, really helps if your fabric is starched. The backing, I really don't so care about it. I'm not going to starch 8 yards of backing or 7 yards or 6 yards or 5 yards, not even 4 yards. I'm not starching backing. It's just way too much. All right, I'll save this piece just in case I don't have enough, but I got a feeling I will have definitely enough to do my thing. So there's 7. I'm going to sew these. Two together, and then I'm going to sew half on one and half on the other, so it'll go across the tops. All right, now I need to move my camera over again so you can see. All right, so we'll just take 2 of these pieces and we'll sew them together. So this will be one side. So I am going to sew this about 1/4 inch. So that one's done. That's one border. You could see the part that was frayed before I even got a chance to get it starched. So This one here, I cut it a little bit bigger because there's something on this that I don't care for. All right. Make sure that this is not going to show. Okay. And this one here, I'm going to take this one and cut it in half. And also half to this one because I really don't know if this is long enough to go across the top. So, but a half of one will definitely do it. So we'll do half. Okay, that's for a top. Don't want to mix them with my sides. And there's no salvage because I cut it off already. All right, now I just need to get these quickly pressed while I stitch them in. Oh shit, I got my chat covered again. Man, I'm so bad for this. Oh, I bet, yeah, Sandra, you don't starch any of your fabric at all? Oh man, I starch everything, especially when I'm piecing. I need more water. Shit. I don't feel like going to get it right now. Okay, so I'm just gonna spray these a little bit to get those big folds out of them. And I just use, where is my stuff? Let's move you down here. Where is that spray bottle? Oh, it's right here. So if you don't wet that, you won't get that crease out. So this has got flatter in it. And I don't want these creases to show in my border. Okay. All right. Okay. You could see that makes it nice and flat. What is that? Powdery stuff. Oh yes. Before you cut your fabric, Sandra, when you get your fabric picked out for whatever quilt you're making, you always, always, always want to starch your pieces before you cut them. Once you've cut them, then you can't starch them because you will shrink your pieces. And that's what starching does. It will shrink your fabric a little bit. So like this quilt I'm going to be making, this Jolly Bar quilt, it requires the whole entire Jolly Bar, which they even tell you cannot starch it because you need the whole Jolly Bar. So this is a quilt that's going to go back to the olden days when I never starched anything. And I'll see how that goes. But it looks like a pretty fun like there's lots of diagonals because I've seen lots of star points and shit like that on it. So yeah, not sure how well that's going to work out, but hey, it is what it is. Okay. All right, so I'm going to get my iron heat back up. So this is one side. Okay, so that's going to go into my scrap bin. And we're just going to do that because this is the side up I need. Wait, let me see. Let's go this way. It should be wrong side up, and it is. Okay, just making sure. Just making sure. Okay. See, when you starch things and you go to iron them, it creases them very, very sharply. So you'll have a nice sharp crease. That is why I need some kind of liquid in here to take those strong, these deep creases out. Because I put them in with my iron when I ironed it. Take you a few seconds to. Whoa. Okay. My iron's cooling off. I think there's just one more. This stuff here that's in this bottle is called flatter. I just put it in my own bottle and added water to it. It smells really good, but it's meant for getting things flatter, just like it's named. You can get scented and unscented flatter, and it actually came in my So Sampler box. So, and to make it stretch longer, I put it in a bigger bottle because it was a very small bottle, and added some water to it, just so I can have it a little bit longer. All right. Now, this is wrong side up. So let's put this in there. And let's put this one here too. Okay. Now these are my sides, and I'm not even going to bother to spray this anymore. See if I can get them out a little bit. Not the greatest. They still have creases. You always sew your sides on first. So I'm just going to set this over here and get sewing this one, or ironing this one. Perfect. It's not really taking the creases out, but not bad enough. Taking it out somewhat. Good enough. Okay, so there's the other top. Now we can get rid of this. We can get rid of this. I need all, look at my thing is very warped there. My mat, and it's warped here. And it's got some pretty deep gouges in here from me using this with an X-Acto knife. Yeah. All right, let's start with a side. So let's start with the side. Okay, I'm going to take one of these. I'm going to sit it there. I'm just going to run it off the edge a little bit, just in case that's not a perfect straight edge. Okay. 1/4 inch seam. My thread is not threaded properly. Well, that worked out perfect. Not. This part's very challenging. When you're working with a big quilt like this, it's annoying. But I need to get these enclosed because these are really fraying a lot. And I need to get them enclosed sooner rather than later. Okay. All right. Let's get some straightness here. Ah, dang it. Didn't want to do that. I hit it with my foot. This is so bulky. Trying so hard. Bye, Deb. Go take care of your sister. Okay, so 2 strips was way too much for this because now I'm only at the part where I seamed it and I'm almost done this side. So there's my seam. It's always good to know I had the wrong side up for what I wanted to see. Okay. Alright, so what I'm going to do is temporarily cut this. So it was a little too much, but that's okay. It can go in there. Now let's flip this around. Put the other long side on. Okay. We'll start it here. Okay, stop doing that, Ruby. No, you're not falling down. So you could see all the frayed pieces of fabric that came off from this border. This border's fraying really badly because it's not, oh, for crying out loud, it's not starched. It's just open and exposed to the dangers of fraying. This is so annoying. Just starting one end is awful. Once you get down it, try to push those frayed edges out. See, what annoys me, this cutting mat does not allow my fabric to move on it. And usually when I'm sewing big projects, I'm probably going to take this mat and turn it because it prevents me from pushing up my fabric. It's kind of annoying. Now I need to iron these in order to put the top ones on, because now it's going to give me the true width. And look at how pretty that border looks encased in this. So with the black, it's just going to make it pop beautifully. And there is frayed threads. So let me just get all these pressed. I'm going to do it quickly over here because I'm not going to move my iron and my ironing board for this. Just going to have to move it again. as I iron it, I will pull out all those threads that get caught in your seams. So, and you can see them better once you press it. You can see the threads. But I'll tell you what, this border sure makes it stand right out. This black. Yeah, my background fabric was a good choice when it comes to this one. Instead of always white, black. Looks good. It's very, very pretty. I love it. Ooh, this quilt got really bigger. Well, not really, but it got bigger to the size I like and that I know will fit on my long arm quilting frame. So I'm good. I'm glad. Now, pulling out a bunch of threads. The frayed ones. Hi, John. How are you? Oh, I love this border. I mean, it was a very quick and cheesy border to do because it was just plain old 4-inch squares. But look at how cute it looks. Seriously. It looks really good. I think so. It's cheesy because it was. Oh, that'll explain why I'm not ironing very good. My iron shut off. I don't know why it does that now. Just likes to piss me off, I think. All right, she's done. Now we got to trim off. Now look at how pretty that border looks. Is it not pretty, guys? Do you like that? We've got to do the top now, but look at all the frays. This is what happens. And you could see this here black is barely fraying. Barely. But that's the part that's exposed until the binding gets put on this. So that's why I did that. So I just need to trim these off. All right. Frayed threads everywhere, all over my quilt. So just need to get a little ruler and trim that off because I need it flush so I can put the top one on. That's that. Hi, Lise. Normally I would freehand this, but I always cut them crooked, so I ain't bothering to do that. I need nice, crisp, sharp corners to put these borders on. Look at all these frayed edges. They suck. Take that off. even with that. All right, now it is. Okay, so let's move you. Now, I want to do something here. I'm going to take my cutting mat and turn it this way for temporary reasons. Alright. Shit's in my way. Oh well. I'm just going to leave it like this. What is the real issue here? Why it's not going back? There. Stupid bitch. That iron is so effing heavy. Get out of my way. I need to push that there. Okay. That's what I need to do in order to move the quilt a little bit on this table, because that cutting mat doesn't let me. Okay. So here's this. And where did I seam it? Because I don't even think I need that piece of seam. Well, maybe I will. I don't know. Anyway. All right. Let's do this. This is my absolute least favorite thing to do, is put borders on quilts. I hate this part so much. Look at that, my quilt's sliding. Got nothing stopping it. The sooner I get rid of this frayed edge on here, the better. No! Did you just do that? It just snagged into my... It did. Oh, that was funny. I don't think I've ever done that, but it's always the first time for something. Let's try this again. I think I need to get myself a coffee. My throat is so irritated. Could use... Oh, and when I got home from work, I put, what's it called? I posted it on my Facebook. It's called Hawaiian chicken. I put that together in the crock pot. So that's what we're having for supper, Hawaiian chicken. But it doesn't tell you to sear your chicken breasts, but I cleaned the chicken breasts, I cut them up, and I seared them before I put them in there. I didn't want all that chicken blood in it. It's kind of gross. But the ingredients were super simple. So it used a little tiny piece of the new piece. And that's what's left. Okay, so that one's done. One more. All right. Okay. This is the last of anything I have to do with this quilt top. It's done. It is going to be stunning. Okay. So rewarding when you get a quilt top done. Especially one that's been sitting in your room for, what, 5 months? And I haven't even touched. Yeah. I got a feeling I sewed my thing upside down. Did I do that? Oh, I sure did. Oh, stupid idiot. I gotta fix that. I wasn't paying attention to the... See, that's what you just don't want to do. Can't go out finishing this without a mistake. All right. Let's rip this out a little bit. I am not ripping this whole thing out. Thanks.
Well.
So what I'm going to do, where is it? Up there. So what I'm going to do is undo this. Like that. Take all these threads out. So I don't want them peeking through. And I sew it back on. And all right. Now we will just take this and put this on the top. Restitch this very carefully so that the seam is on the outside, not on the bottom. All right, now we'll stitch it back up. Now it's now it's right. All right, it's all fixed. No more seam underneath. See? This little bitch doesn't want to pull out. I'm not sure why. I don't want that peeking through. Okay, the rest of that's being cut off anyway. All right, let's iron her. And it is done like dinner. Then I can get a picture of it for you guys to see it. How big it got. I didn't imagine. Why can't I see my iron? The light doesn't work. What the frick? It's not plugged in properly. Oh, it's coming out. Okay. Lots of frayed threads that peeked through. This one doesn't want to pull out. Bitch. I have to cut it. It won't pull out. I don't want that showing. Okay, I really don't know. Seriously don't know why I'm rushing. I don't. Man, I should never have starched without wearing a mask. It irritated my lungs. Side done. Ooh, this feels nice and warm on my feet. The part I just ironed. That feels good on the legs. All right, that is done, and it got really big, really big. Really? I gotta grab a mat, just a little one I can use. To cut on. I'll use this little guy for now. That's good. Okay, where's the other side? There. Okay. And one more. Oops. And that whole top is done. Now, I need to measure this. Oh, shit. Okay. Let's put that over there for now, but now I need this back. Because I need to measure it. Get that out of my way. Because this is 1 yard. And that's how I measure. Okay, good enough. Alright. Okay, so where are we? Is this the top? That looks like a side. Okay, so here's the top. So it is that is 36. And 22. 36 and 22. So 30, 40, 58. Now it became 58 inches wide. So it's 58 width. Let's have a drink of coffee that Jeff made me. Okay, so that's the top. Now let's do the side. It was 48. All right, so 36, 36, and 4.5. So 72, so it's 76.5 in length. All right, let's get this folded up for a minute because I have to measure this when I do my backing, because I fold my backing in half, then I fold this in half, put this on top of the backing, and that tells me how wide my backing needs to be. All right. This is beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. I absolutely love this quilt. Probably won't be selling this or getting rid of it. This is my favorite quilt. I'll just take a lint roller once it's on the quilt machine, and I will get all the lint, all the little frays off of it. This is very pretty. I have every tool going. Yeah, basically. Okay. We're going to set this aside. Now we're going to pull out our backing. I'm going to see just how big this is. So I'm going to measure it. See if I need to add anything in it. There is 1 yard. There is 2 yards. Oh, and 22. It's actually 76 and a half too. So I will have to put a piece in this. So how to do that is going to be a bitch. But for the width, the width is 58. It's socialites too, Debbie. Okay, so basically this will get opened up. So this is definitely 36. So basically, yeah, this is 44 inches wide. Just want to make sure it's not a 42 one. So this is 44 inches wide. So 44 and 44 is 88. This is really, really wide. The thing is it's not long enough because I made the quilt extra long. So now I'm short some fabric. But I can always cut a piece off here, off the side, because, and I could piece it on the, to make it longer. That's not a big deal. Or I think I'm just going to, yeah, I'm going to cut this in. You'll see what I'm going to do. I'm going to make a piece backing. All right, so I need to literally cut this in half and sew it together. That's literally what I need to do. All right. Where are you? Okay, so I need this end. So I need this to match up, because I literally have to cut this in half to make it wide. But I want to add one of my labels, so I'm going to make a pieced backing in order to get my labels. So let's grab our scissors. Let's cut. This in half. This is the best way to do it. And then we do a really easy peasy part. Why is this not going in? Oh, because it's snagged. That's why. So you take your 2 pieces of backing. Again, mine's not long enough, but we'll deal with that. That is not an issue. What you do is you take these 2 pieces, and we're going to sew about 1 inch width, because this will be too long now. So now we're going to stitch this together to have one big piece of wide backing. Okay. But first of all, I'm going to go pick out a quilt label to see which one I want to put in it. So you got to sew at least an inch to get rid of this seam binding, even more. I might even sew more than an inch, just because when I'm done this, I have to press this open so it remains flat. When I put it on my quilting frame, the wrong side will be up of my backing, and you need this seam to be nice and flat and in the middle. So I will sew a little bit thicker. And I got the extra fabric in the width to do it anyways, so I'm not really concerned with that. Okay, now I've lost where I'm sewing here. This way. All right. So let's just piece our backing. And I am going to turn it down to about 1 3/4 millimeter stitch. And I'm going to stitch it at, all right, I am going to do it at 1 inch. Now I'm going to do it at 1 1/4. So here we are, 1 1/4 inches. I'll just follow my guide all the way down. And then we will trim off this, this selvage edge and press it open. You should always press it open so it doesn't bulk at all on your quilting frame, machine, or whatever. You're going to have enough bulk with the top. Why not? So when you do trim this off, you want to leave at least 1/2 inch to press open. Right now you don't want to deal with the 1/4 inch shit. Not with your backing. And then I have to square this backing up. I can't do none of that till I do the piecing. This sure seems longer than that. I'm going to remeasure the length of this because it sure seems like it's a hell of a lot longer than I wanted. I mean, you have to leave it at least 6 inches, minimum 4. 6 is better. Quilters will tell you they rather have 6 inches all the way around of extra board backing. It's a hell of a waist, and when quilters request 6 inches, that is a whole foot of fabric that you're chucking out to waste. I want to go at least 4 inches. Let me remeasure this one more time, okay? Because this seems like an awfully big piece. All right. 36. 36 and 22-ish. No, it's not. Okay, now here's the fun part of trimming this off. And then we will iron this, press it open, get this backing ready for, all right. So you want at least a ½ inch all the way down. So that's what I'm going to do. This is what I've done with all my backings. Good. Doesn't seem like my quilt is this big. Did I measure it wrong or something? Because it doesn't seem this long. This is a huge piece of fabric. I usually lay this on the kitchen floor and get Jeff to go on his knees and cut it for me with the cutting board underneath him. I can't go on my knees. Getting there. And one way to tell, so I'll do it this way. I'll show you what I'm going to do with my quilt. Alright, so this part here is all garbage. It's just salvage ends. So take this, after I nicely folded my quilt, take my quilt, unfold it, and measure it. So we'll just see how big, how true I am to my measurements. Okay, come on. Don't do me like this. Okay, I measured something wrong. Because this is plenty long enough. What the fuck? Did I measure the wrong end? Look how much is left. That's more, that's perfect. Perfect amount. Well then. I'm pretty sure I folded this lengthwise. Where's my butterfly? That'll tell me. Where are you, butterfly? Where's my butterfly? My butterfly. Yep, this is length. I just measured it lengthwise. So widthwise, fold this in half. Where's my seam? We have more than enough. Let's see how much too wide it is. Remember, we've got to leave at least 8 inches. Because this has to go on my quilt frame and I need something to roll. So that's the width. That's what's left. I have to absolutely cut nothing. So since I don't have to do that, I'm going to applique I'm going to applique on the back of this my quilt label. That's what I'm going to do. All I have to do is iron that. I don't have to trim it, cut it, nothing. That is perfect. It's got lots of room. Oh, that's perfect. I'm glad, because I hate doing that. I hate piecing backings if I don't have to do that. That just made my day. All right. So we're going to put you down here for now. And we're going to dig out a quilt label and see which one. First of all, let me add up how much binding I need. So 77, 76, 58, and 58. I better do these two at a time. 77 and 76. 153 and 116. So I need 269 inches of binding. So how many strips will that be? 44 times okay. Yeah, there is no way my quilt is 76 and a half. If this is 76. No, that was 36 and 36. 72 plus 22. 94. Okay. That'll explain why. I added that up wrong. All right. I don't care about this. What I care about is the length I need. My width is right. The length is not. Something's fishy with my length. Yeah. Let's do this again. So, 36. Oh, I see. That's where I went wrong. 36. 72. 73, 74, 75, 76, 77, 78. Where are we? All right. Just get a new paper, Ruby. 78 and 78. 156 plus 116. 272. So, how many pieces of binding at 44 inches? Jeff, how many pieces of binding to get 272? 44-inch binding. Hang on, let me see, because I think the binding is bigger than 44. Let me just double check that. Those panels seem like they're bigger than 44 inches, but let me just check. $36, $37, $38, $39, $40, $41. They're 42 inches. Okay, so 44 times 7. Tell me how much that is, Jeff. 42 times 7. What are these? 294. 200 and what? 294. So I need 272. So I will need 7 strips. Perfect. So that is good to know. I don't want to pull those out. Let's pick out a quilt label that I can applique on. I'm kind of going for that one because I think that's, there's no purple in her quilts though. Maybe this one. Yeah. Quilts are little pieces of sunshine. Okay, that will be the one I'm using. Yeah, that's the one I'm going to use. All right. So, which kind of fabric do I want to use on the back that's going to pop on that? It's going to give it a nice, I don't think these are big enough. Nope. What did I do with all the fabric pieces? Oh, here we are. I want it to pop. So I need 4. There's that one. That's a possibility. 2, 3. I need 4 pieces. I actually like the green. I don't want this orange. I already got that. That pink. Let's take the green. And no, I don't want another blue. Could always do brown. Is that gonna pop? Not really. Need something a little darker. That's way too light. Well, we have this piece. I want this to be able to be seen on the back of this. So this pink will get lost. Let's not do the pink. Where was I just? What about this teal? The teal would not get lost. So we'll do this dark pink. So I'm going to do those 4 colors. Yep, okay. Okay, come on, fabrics. All right, I like that. Okay. All right, I'm just going to cut 2-inch strip off of these. But I really don't need them all. Throw them in the basket. So we're going to change this down to a 1/4 inch. Turn this down to a 1/4 all the way around. Now, that on there at a 1/4 inch. That. Do this one next. All right, I need to give these a very careful press because this is iron-on. That's not even work. I gotta wait. Do I need that? That should be good. This way. Okay. Now, I need, I don't think, that is not long enough. I should just do it flush. What the heck? Don't be scared. Don't be scared. It'll work. Now, to decide how big do I want this? 1.25 inches, I think, is as big as I want it. 1.25 inches. So I'm cutting 1.5 inches, and when I sew this, when I tack this down, it'll be 1.5 inches, I think. That's good enough. Pretty. Love it. Let's give it a pressy. Okay. Now, let's trim this off. All right. that is my back quilt. Quilts are a little piece of sunshine made with love by Ruby Lockwood. Look at how pretty that turned out. Isn't that cute? So I'm going to zigzag this onto the backing, but first I need to get the backing done. But I'm not going to finish this today. I'm just doing a little bit every day. It's hard when I work all day and come home and I really want to get this finished. Oh, I don't have it in me. That did turn out nice though. I will press this down, zigzag it all the way around, because when I quilt my quilt, this is probably going to get smashed with quilting lines. Yeah. And that's an iron-on. It's pretty though. Oh yeah, I don't feel like ironing this thing. I don't feel like it. So Jeff said I need 7. 1, 2, 3, there's 4, 5, 6. There's 6 here. And I need to go 1 extra one. Yeah. This is my binding. Which one I want. Huh. I'm actually going to do 8 because I lose a lot when I join these. Well, I don't like what that just did, so I'll be taking a piece off that. It kind of literally moved, and then it went crooked. So I've got to fix that. Green. 4. What's the inside? I'm tired of pissing around with one piece of fabric. It didn't work that way. Don't move. Yeah, you did. There's 5, 6. I'll cut 2 more of this one. There's 1, 2, 6, 7, and 8. That is me binding. Yeah, I'm done. I'm done for today, guys. I'm done. Done night dinner. I'm just gonna leave this mess. This. These labels came from Sweetwater. Debbie, just type in Google Sweetwater labels. But they were getting expensive to come to Canada. So for one label, this was like 15 something. So I canceled my shipments. I only got a few months worth. I got that label made. That came from Sweetwater, and I don't even like that at all. I will probably never use it. That one came from Sweetwater, and that one came. And the rest of these, and that one came. Like, look at how ugly. So boring. So that's it. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 months, and then I canceled it. Because it's quite expensive to pay $16 and something for a stupid label. When I made my own. And this, I used printable fabric. This is printable fabric with lightweight adhesive glued to a muslin backing. And then I starched it. After I printed it, I ironed it and starched it very, very well. But also sprayed all of these with a bottle called, oh shit, I'll go get it. I can't even read it, it's backwards. It's called Retain. Yes, this stuff. It's called Retain. So this prevents bleeding. And I sprayed it in all of these and I let it dry. All of these sheets were wrinkled. I let it dry, but I sprayed it with this stuff. I soaked it with this stuff so these would not bleed. So I made a scrap label. I used this stuff. I let it dry. Then I wet it and I washed it and I scrubbed it and I scrubbed it to see if the ink would come off. And it did not. Because usually over time with laser printers, the ink will eventually wash off. So Retain will prevent that from happening. So I did all of these, made all of these, cut them all. I went on Etsy and I purchased these labels. And I washed them And then I backed them with adhesive, put them on some muslin, and ironed them, and now they are stiff, very stiff. So, and these labels I purchased off Etsy, they were ones that were editable, so you can edit them. Look at handmade and quilted with the, you know, those kinds of things on it. I love this teddy bear with the holding the sewing machine and the quilt blanket. So I made all of these. Unfortunately, I have to throw most of these out because I went and put the year on it like a dipshit. And it says 2023. So I'm not going to use all of these in 2023. I will be using quite a few of them because all the quilts that I have finished were all finished in 2023. Well, most of them were. Some weren't. Yeah, so, yeah, these came from Sweetwater. That's the only one I like from Sweetwater. The rest of them are nothing to... I made my own. My own are better and thicker. So that's a tip. Now I am doing a Scrabble quilt eventually, and I bought this Retain because I'm printing pictures on printable fabric, and I don't want my pictures to wear and fray and you know eventually just be gone off of the fabric. So that's why I purchased this Retain, and it works. Yep, it really works. So a lot of people say this is really good for washing your quilts too. I don't know if I could cut the date off, Jen. I think I kind of put them in a dumb place on most of them. Yeah, see, it says 2023. Oh, this one doesn't say anything. This one does. I still have the labels. I could always remake them and show you guys how I did this. They all say 2023. I really, really like this one. But it says 2023. I don't know what I was thinking by putting the date on. You don't really need the date. Might be a good idea, but I don't know. Yeah, these came from, some of them came from that place. And I'll tell you, Debbie, they're not worth it. I just canceled my order actually last month. So yeah. But using, this is basically the same thing as just printing. This is like a canvas fabric. I'm not sure what they use. And then they back it with adhesive. Yeah. Iron-on adhesive. So you can iron this on. But I won't need to because I'm just going to zigzag all around with a satin stitch on this. And that's all I'm going to do because the quilting, when I quilt the quilt, it will cover all this. So it'll be in there permanently. That way, if you put it on the back of your quilt, if I actually sewed it into the quilt, which I could do, but I don't want to because it's a lot of work, is piece my quilt. Cut it in the middle, cut out a chunk that's this big on both sides, then sew the two pieces back together, sew a piece on this side, and sew this back in. I just can't see me doing that. You didn't like it, Jen? Yeah, they're kind of ugly. This was the only, out of 6 of them, that's the only one I like. That's the only quilt label out of 6 of them that I like that I paid $15 for. Because I have to pay in Canadian dollars. And I think it's 12 something a month, plus I have to pay shipping. So it's not worth it. I make my own. And I'll teach you guys how to do that because I will have to make new quilt labels. Because I can't use all of those ones that say 2023. But I will be using a good chunk of them. Yeah, Kimberly always brags about how she loves her Sweetwater label. So I thought, oh, you know, I'm going to go and order them. And this is those. That first one was a black and white one I got. I said to Jeff, these are not worth the money. I was like, a black and white label? How boring. I said, mine are better than these. So, yeah. Yeah, needless to say, I canceled it. So, if you want to make these, get yourself a bottle of Retain. I'll show you guys how to do this. All right. Thanks for joining me, guys. Have a wonderful afternoon. I probably won't see you guys again until Friday. Yeah. Depends. Depends how I feel when I get home from work tomorrow. All right. God bless. Take care, everyone. See you soon. Bye. Thank you.